His life was a ledger filled with numbers, deadlines, and the sterile comfort of routine. Laughter belonged to another world. The call had come earlier. His mother had fallen down the stairs. The news struck like a cold blade. He waited for the grief, the pain, the anger, anything. But all he felt was a hollow void yawning in his chest. Rain slicked the pavement that night, each drop sharp and relentless. He sought shelter beneath a neon sign, the Last Laugh Comedy Club. Guaranteed laughter or your misery back. Something in him hesitated, but the weight of the rain and the emptiness inside compelled him forward. Smoke curled thick in the air, the harsh glare of the stage lights exaggerating every wrinkle and shadow on the lone performer's face. The crowd sat frozen in unnatural smiles, their laughter buzzing like static electricity in the room. It didn't feel right, it felt hungry. He slid into a rickety chair at the back, his wet clothes clinging uncomfortably to his skin. On stage, the comedian began. The jokes were strange, fragmented things, puzzles with pieces missing.
Why did the chicken cross the Mobius strip to get to the same side? Why do the stars blink when we're not looking? Because they're tired of carrying the sky alone.
None of it made sense, yet something stirred within him. A crack formed in the armor of his seriousness. His lips twitched, unbidden. The first chuckle escaped, a foreign sound that startled him. He looked around, ashamed, but the audience was consumed, their laughter cascading like waves. The jokes grew stranger, each one tearing at the fabric of reality. His laughter came harder, faster, a tidal force that swallowed him whole. It didn't feel like joy, it felt like unraveling. Tears blurred his vision as he stumbled from the club, laughter still racking his chest. It followed him home, echoing through the rain-slick streets and into the sterile quiet of his apartment. He laughed through the night, unable to stop. His ribs ached, his throat burned, but the laughter persisted. A relentless tide that drowned every other sound. He laughed at his desk the next day, tax forms crumpling under trembling hands. He laughed when his boss reprimanded him. He laughed as he listened to his landlord's voicemail, threatening eviction. And then he laughed at the funeral, his mother's funeral. The sound sliced through the somber air like shattered glass. Faces turned, eyes wide with horror and disgust, but he couldn't stop. The priest faltered, his sermon dissolving into awkward silence. The laughter was raw, jagged, scraping against the quiet grief of the mourners. He wanted to explain, to beg forgiveness. But all that came out was more laughter, a hollow, mocking echo of everything he couldn't say. Days turned to weeks, and the laughter consumed him. It filled every moment, smothered every feeling. Every interaction tainted by the laughter that refused to let go. His life became a cruel parody. The voice of the comedian haunted his thoughts, warping every memory, every emotion into a grotesque punchline. One night, alone in his darkened apartment, he sat staring at the walls. The laughter filled the room, unceasing, a noise so constant it felt like silence. Tears streamed down his face, his chest heaving with the effort of drawing breath between convulsions. The laughter wasn't his anymore. It had grown into something alive, something vast and merciless. It pressed against his mind, crowding out every other thought, every fragment of who he had been. He stumbled to the window, throwing it open. The rain poured down, cold and cleansing, a brief reprieve from the stifling heat of his prison. The city stretched below him, a maze of lights and shadows indifferent to his suffering. He climbed onto the sill, his laughter echoing into the night like a grotesque symphony. For the first time, he felt close to silence. One step would end the noise, the ache, the prison of his own mind. So he stepped forward. Then, the pavement rose up to meet him. Laughter gurgled through blood and broken ribs, still echoing in the empty streets. And as the rain washed over his lifeless body, the laughter didn't stop. The club had kept its promise. It had taken his misery and left him nothing but laughter. But his laughter wasn't a curse. It was the sound of his emptiness, an hysterical glimpse into the empty chasm of his sorrow. He tried to fill the void in his chest with comedy, but the void laughed back until it shattered him completely,